Alrighty, how we doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Wolf, and welcome to my top 3 ranged league starters for Delirium League. Now, this is going to be 2 tried and tested characters. There will be links to the videos for them in the description, and one that is more trade league oriented. The first 2 have been tested in solo self-found by yours truly. They're actually alternate versions of the same character, so they are both poison pathfinders, but they play entirely differently, and I'm sure you can alter them in whatever way you would like to. So we're going to start off with my previous league starter, actually, which is my Scourge Arrow Pathfinder. There should be a link in a card somewhere if I'm not lazy. Otherwise, it is on the channel. Alternatively, check the description. This character pulls in pretty reasonable DPS. The only issue I had with it was it is kind of weapon dependent. You have to craft a rather decent bow that requires you to get relatively deep in delve/farm for a fossil. Without this, you are going to be kind of hard stuck at about tier 13, 14 maps, and your bossing is not going to be that fantastic. But it is a bow character, so without investment, your bossing is garbage anyway. It's just kind of how it goes. Skill tree wise, this is what we're sort of looking at. I'll zoom out just a little bit there for you. Most people can just copy it as is from here, but I'll zoom in and give a little bit of explanation. Life here, grab Heart of the Oak for life there. We're going for damage over time with bow skills pretty much everywhere. Jewel socket, life here. And then we want to go out the top, get damage over time with bow skills. Charisma for reduced reserve, damage over time, and chaos over time multiplier. Stats, life, attack speed. Attack speed is actually very good on this build because it lets you charge faster, because it is a very stop and go style character. Damage with stats, life, damage over time, bit of life there. Life, come down over here, damage over time, and poison deals damage faster. We are a poison build, obviously. Fatal Toxins. We take this 1 point to cap our poison chance. Then we grab Acrobatics with Phase Acro. And there was a point where I was using Arrow Dancing, but I actually ended up cutting it because it wasn't as good as you may think. Grab Master Fletcher for damage and just damage over time. Jewel Socket, life, more channeling attack speed. This is actually very useful. We also use infused channeling in the setup to give us a bit of extra survivability because it is a channeling skill. So any other sorts of channeling stuff can be of use here as well. This gives us a shit ton of DPS. Make sure to grab that one. Pop down here for poison to inflict deal damage faster and multipliers for everything. Come over here, get thick skin for life. Get multiplier right here for more poison stuff. Come down over here. Poisons deal damage 5% faster. We're at like 20 or 25% faster at this point. Life and Jewel Socket. Pretty simple pathing. As much damage as possible for the build we are playing, basically. Alright, Ascendancy, Leveling Path, go Nature's Reprisal, and Master Toxicist immediately. Because we are going to want to pick up Master Toxicist to make it so we lose a Virulence of 50% slower. The big damage from this build is going to come in on the last little line of Master Toxicist, which is poisons you inflict during any flask effect have a 40% chance to deal 100% more damage. That's the same thing as the multiplier we're looking for on the bow, which is 60% chance for poisons inflicted with this weapon to deal 100% more. It either gives you 100% chance for 100% more, or 2 separate amounts that if you high roll can do insane DPS. I don't know the exact math. I'm probably never going to be able to figure it out. If you know, let me know. Yeah, other than that, more chaos damage and lose virulence slower. I don't think have Herald of Agony in this. We actually do. So we lose virulence slower. It's decent. You can cut this if you want to. I believe I did in the end. But yeah, if you can make it work, make it work. And then Nature's Reprisal. When you kill an enemy during any flask effect, nearby enemies are poisoned. You have flasks up 24/7. Basically free AoE poison. Then we grab Nature's Boon as your third one. This gives you flask recharge every 3 seconds. You can take this first if you want for leveling as well, because you will go faster. But you do want Master Toxicist basically as fast as possible. But yeah, flasks gain 3 charges every 3 seconds, infinite quicksilvers, infinite granite flasks, infinite onslaught flasks. No issue there. Last point is Nature's Adrenaline for move speed and attack speed during flask effect. Skills. Scourge Arrow, basic setup for damage. Mirage Archer shoots a second arrow, which shoots all the thorn pods again, which poisons more, and allows you to deal damage while moving with a channeling skill, so you're not entirely locked down. Mirage Archer did get some nerfs, it is still worth it, it's still effective. Being able to do damage while moving with a build that shouldn't be allowed to do damage while moving is really fucking good. Who would have guessed? Damage setup is Added Chaos, Mirage, Unbound, Deadly, and Infused Channeling for a bit of survivability and more damage. Herald of Agony, optional. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. You do need to have it on at minimum though, so you can have it on 25% reserve rather than fully rigged up, because it gives you a chance to poison, which we're using to poison cap, and 10% more poison damage. If you don't want to use these, you can, of course, just cut them and you'll go from 47% to 78, and from there you can choose to do whatever you want. Add on a blasphemy curse or something if you want, or add in extra, what is it? I think I wound up using Malevolence, if I remember correctly, instead of optimizing this, while leaving Herald of Agony on for the poison cap. But I believe I did end up using Malevolence for just more DPS in general. Blasphemy Despair. This is just our curse setup. You can anoint Whispers of Doom if you want, or use the +1 curse boots and get an extra curse in. I don't remember which one it was, but you can probably use Temp Chains if you want more survivability. Blood Rage for frenzy charges, Cast One Stone Golem for life regen, Plague Bearer for insane single target damage. This is where all your bossing is going to come from. You want to shoot something with Scourge Arrow, fully charge it, and then just Plague Bearer in their face and stand on them and watch the boss die, basically. Use that for any bosses, any rare packs, any yellows, anything. Kills it all, pretty much. Any league mechanics as well. Works pretty decently. Bow I talked about before. Witchfire Brew. Optimal if you can get it. As there is Promise, really easy to get. Correlato Signature. If you can get one in Trade League, there you go. If you get one in SSF, build this character, you will pop off. Jewels, Max Life, damage with poison, damage with poison, damage with poison. Next character. I'm going to try and keep this relatively quick because I know people prefer faster sorts of stuff. KB Pathfinder. This is Kinetic Blast Wander that I had a shit ton of fun with. Same character, slightly different skill tree, a whole lot faster clear. This character was clearing, I think I was doing 14s and like doing speed 14s. Like I could zip through maps. I was doing, in the span of like one Scourge Arrow character map. I mean, obviously Scourge Arrow has higher top end DPS, and if you want to do bossing, the Scourge Arrow character is better. But in the time that the Scourge Arrow character did like one map, I was doing probably 2 maps, probably roughly about double the speed, if not 2.5 maps with this character. But its bossing was complete shit because it's optimized around AoE, tons of AoE, tons of speed, fast. Yeah, if you enjoy doing lines of crack every now and then, this character is more than likely for you. All right, same skill tree basically. I cut out some of the bow nodes. Where else did I optimize around? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Cut out the bow nodes. Grab Frenzy Charge. Is that it? I think so. Jewel Socket. Yeah. I mean, you really just need to take the bow nodes out there. Take the bow nodes out here. And you can go wherever you want, really. If you want Delirium points, feel free to do that. You can probably get more life, more survivability. You can get some speed from Quick Step if you want. You can get Flask Duration and Flask Effect from Druidic Rites to make your Quicksilvers better. Frenzy Charge here. Obviously, Frenzy Charges are just speed. So, charge there, charge down there. Yeah, skill tree is basically the same. I mean, it was the same character, right? So, yeah. Ascendancy, also the same. And where the changes come in is in the setup here. We have Kinetic Blast, Added Chaos Damage, Unbound, Deadly Ailments, Vicious, Projectiles, Vile Toxin, and GMP. These are setups you can interchange depending on what you want to do and what I was experimenting with. I ended up with a 5-link that was Connected Blast, Added Chaos, Unbound, Deadly, and GMP for the clear. Either of these are viable if you are able to get a 6-link. I was not, sadly. I only ended up with a 5-link Dendrobait. So I ended up with Lesser Poison as a soft 6-link, basically. So DPS wound up pretty decent for AoE clear, obviously. But I got to a point where I could kill everything, so I just started optimizing speed instead. We have Herald of Agony with a fully loaded setup for as much boss damage as I could really muster. Obviously, because it wasn't that great. I had to squeeze it wherever I could. And this kind of made up for it. Not really, but it kind of got there in the end. But, yeah. Blasphemy Despair, Blood Rage, Summon Stone Golem, and Plague Bearer with Ink AoE. And then a Malevolence in here as well. We're on very low mana, but if we just cut out some of these, which I believe I did, we're at 34%, we can opt for Precision if you need hit chance for whatever reason, or Vol Haste, that sort of stuff. I believe I was using Vol Haste as well. Itemization, we just had this was just a shitty wand that I had. I believe the wand I ended up with, I wonder if I can find the character. I actually think I can, hang on. Let me try and have a look at that. Import. Uno momento, friends. This one. That is... Did I actually wind up with that wand? Goddamn. My wand was that trash. I'm actually impressed with myself. That wand was actually that fucking bad. Well. You want Fizz DPS as much as possible. You want good attack speed. Most of the attack is in poison, if I remember correctly. So it doesn't actually make much of a difference. You want to get Chaos over Time multiplier on your wand if you can. Other than that, it's kind of whatever. I wound up using a shield for movement speed, and I had a God Roll shield. Found a Devoto's because I got really lucky. It's just attack speed, right? Attack speed, movement speed, that sort of stuff. And just became a very, very fast human. But yeah, in the end, you just want a good attack speed wand. Damage doesn't really make a difference because it's all in the poison in the end. So if you can get a Chaos over Time multi-craft or Chaos over Time multi anywhere, really, with good attack speed, should be fine. The character is really easy to gear. So yeah, no real issues there. Everything else, gear-wise, just life res. Okay, it's Diamond Skin for res. Chaos to attacks. Curse with Despair on hit. I got pretty lucky there. Wound up with Hoa, KB, Greater Volley, which isn't recognized in my path of building for whatever reason. Malevolence, Plague Bearer with a dash because I like dash for movement speed. Blood Rage, Steel Skin, Caswen, Tempest Shield, Holy Relic, Caswen Stone Golem, and Despair. And that is the character that I wound up rolling with and was clearing 14 speeds pretty reliably with no issue whatsoever. Very good farmer, killed basically the whole screen with a single right click. It was pretty good all in all. And the final character I have to show you is a very, very top end maxed out Burning Arrow Deadeye. This character is going to be good for a speed clear, good for a single target. It's going to be very, very satisfying with the Vol Burning Arrow explosions that you can pull off. The first time I played Vol Burning Arrow, I was like, I need to make like a whole character around this. So I did exactly that. So we have a Burning Arrow setup. Obviously, will be Vol Burning Arrow. And we're rolling with just the min-max damage setup. You might not always be able to be on full life, but if you can with the setup, you do very good damage, obviously. We have Herald of Ash, we have Anger, Enlighten, and then Summon Ice Golem for accuracy and crit chance, because we are going crit on this character. We have Castwind, Blood Rage, Immortal Call. Could alternatively look for a self-cast Steel Skin, if you want to take that route. That option is very good for defense, but if you're out of keybinds, I guess that's not really an argument anymore, but still, I know some people don't like playing with too many keybinds. Yeah, me too. Vol Haste is an option. Ink Duration, Blink Arrow, faster attacks, if you have the space. LE Weakness, this is from the gloves, because this character is rigged up to the fucking 9s for Trade League. With Curse LE Weakness on hit. I actually got these, not these, but I got LE Weakness on hit on a pair of unique face breakers, so it's possible to get in solo Self-Found. Just corrupt every pair of gloves you get if you're just looking for this. And it doesn't make a difference what gloves they're on. I mean, it might sometimes. But the curse on hit is just so fucking big in builds like this. If you know it's the character you're going to play, just corrupt all of them until you eventually hit something. If you play long enough, you'll get there eventually. Then we have Tornado Shot, ranged attack, totem, chance to bleed. This still does physical damage, which allows it to still bleed. And then thanks to the Deadeye node, Rupture, you have increased crit multiplier against bleeding enemies, which is a nice little bit of tech there you could potentially take into other builds if you ever feel like doing that sort of thing. Sentences wise, we're going Rupture, Gathering Winds for Tailwind, Fast and Deadly for accuracy rating and attack speed, as well as projectile damage, and Powerful Precision for Pierce. Simple enough. Here is our skill tree. Quite simple as well. Projectile damage, life, damage. Jewel Socket, Frenzy Charge, damage, crit, life, damage, LE damage, life, damage, point blank, even though it got nerfed, Kappa. Frenzy Charge, 1% or 1 point of mana leech to solve all mana problems, because that's how this game works, Omega lol. Jewel Socket, remove, gain 3% movement speed because you remove the penalty from your chest piece. Life. Damage, life, crit chance, Frenzy Charge, life, Jewel Socket, damage, life, damage, life, damage. It's basically how skill tree summaries go nowadays, huh? Itemization, character is rigged up as basically as well as possible. Using a Chin Soul. This is very easy to farm. I farm them myself. I actually dropped a 5-link Chin Soul in solo self-found, so anything's fucking possible. Obviously, using Burning Arrow with the... I believe Burning Arrow got updated as well in the recent league, giving it 100% Face to Fire conversion just on its own, which is good enough. It means you don't have to use Signal Fire anymore, even though this is still really good, giving Fizzes extra after you upgrade it. But you can use whatever quiver you want. If you want to use a Hunter quiver, you can do that now, because Burning Arrow is 100% on its own. But yeah, we got a Hrimnors with damage, should be Burning Arrow damage, but you know, whatever. Fire damage, Hrimnors drop pretty often for me. You can do whatever sort of setup you want here. Whatever helmet, really. Combs for max life, fire damage, use whatever chest piece you want. LE weakness on hit. Boots that give power charges. Zophs for cover enemies in ash when they hit you, and fire damage plus max life. Double opals with fire damage and basically god roll. Stygian Vise for max life, LE damage with attacks. Try to make sure to craft that on if you can't roll it manually. And then we have an Abyss Jewel in the belt for res, damage, and life. Then we have Vessel of Inktar, Dying Sun, Trade League. Silver Flask for Onslaught, Diamond Flask for Crit Chance, and Sulfur Flask for flat damage. And then Jewel Combination is any combination of attack speed with bows, fire damage, and raw stats to make up the difference. That is going to be my top 3 ranged league starters for Delirium League. Thank you very much for listening, and as always, take care, gentlemen.